Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland and Eastern Europe. And in Brexit England, we all thought that Priti Patel was pretty nasty. But this new Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, or as we like to call her, Cruella de Vil Braverman. This woman is a psychopath. She's sick. Right. This is the exact reason why we always call black and Asian Tories, a sellout. Because of this woman. I mean, Priti Patel was bad enough. I mean, Priti Patel was toxic, right? But, I don't know what there is past toxic, but whatever it is, Suella Braverman is that, We're talking about probably nuclear toxic waste with Suella Braverman. This woman, right, is reminiscent, right, of, just let me think of some evil names from the past. Adolf Hitler, right, or Cecil Rhodes. That's the level of evil that this woman has within her. She has a dream. She has an obsession to shackle people, put them on a plane or a boat, right, and send them to somewhere they don't want to go. The woman has a dream. She has a passion to do this. She said, I want to be on the front of the Telegraph. And you think, wow. You do realize, woman, that these people are shackled, hands and feet, right, to be put onto these aeroplanes, onto these boats. And that is what she is dreaming about, right? A brown woman whose parents came here as migrants or as asylum seekers. I don't know what, but this is how they come here. And this is why, black and Asian Tories are far too dangerous for the black and Asian community in this country, because they can say and do things, right, that a white politician would never ever touch. I mean, white politicians would think about this. They'd think about shackling every month. They'd like to take the fucking, go park the plane in Hackney, right, or in Brixton, right, or go up to Leicester, right, or any Southall, Green Street. They go to any of these places, right? And they would, any white person just would love to just load up a load of black and brown people and just load them onto an aeroplane, right? And take off right where it is, in the middle of the high street. But none of them would say it. None of them would have the gall, the guts, right? The idiocy, if that's a word, right, for them to come out and say what Suella Braverman has said, right? I am, this woman, I can't, sometimes you can put yourself in somebody else's mindset, how they can think about things. I can't get my head anywhere near how Cruella thinks about stuff. This woman is extra evil, right? With loads of sugar on top, right? Because she is the most evil politician that I have come across. And, I've come across Nigel Farage, right? And Nick Griffin, right? And you know something, right? I mean, this coming from her, I mean, this is like, the National Front. This is the level what she's at. She's at the National Front level. And this is a woman, and mind, right, that this is a woman, right, whose parents, right, would have definitely been spat at in this country. Because that's one thing, right, that, in fact, all of my Asian friends, all of them, right, have been spat at in the street when there was kids, when they're in their teens. And it might not happen so much now, but I've seen plenty of like Muslim women driving with their cars, right, and they spit on their window, on their driver's window, on their driver's side window. Right? I've seen that on numerous occasions. Okay, numerous occasions. So I know, right, that Suella Braverman, right, I guarantee you that her people would have been spat at, right, on a regular basis. Right, my friend, a couple of my Asian friends, they used to have a shop just around the corner. We used to go there and hang out with them, right? And countless times there was people just walk past and you just hear him say, walk past and says the P word, bam, straight. And just walking past the shop, they haven't come in the shop, just walking past. And Suella Braverman, right, or Corella the Braverman, right, has been through all of this, right? And this woman, right, can still come over with this extra racism, right? And, when she says this type of stuff, right, I mean, I'll tell you what's happened to her, because I know she was quite evil before this, right? It's not like this has just happened to her, right? But where she got blown out so quick, right, in the last PM contest, and she saw what happened to Rishi Sunak. She saw Rishi Sunak had no chance. So this woman, now she believes, right, that if she really doubles down, because, Liz Truss is not going to be there for very long. Liz Truss, if she lasts till Christmas, I'll be surprised, right? And that's not that long, right? But so she's going to go for a second go at to be Prime Minister. And she believes, right, that, if she can say the most evil, horrible, just nasty, wicked stuff, that she might be able to get the nomination to be the PM, right? But she got to realise she's a bloody Asian, right? And she ain't got no fucking chance, right? When it comes down to it, right? It don't matter how racist, right, she is, right? Because remember, right, if it comes up again, right, she's been going up against someone like Penny Mordaunt this time, and you think that anyone's going to vote for her over Penny Mordaunt? You think anyone's going to vote for her? Right? Or Kemi Badenoch? I heard someone saying, "Oh, Kemi Badenoch, she's the future of the Tory party." Right? All these people, right, want these black and Asian Tories for, right, is so that they can do their evil work through them. They can bring in their disgusting, racist, filthy policies through black and Asian Tories, and that is the exact reason why they're there. And welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me. And a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that signed up. So thank you so much for that. I'll go for all your messages. I'll answer as many as I can. But I will like all your messages for definite. So we'll go over to America, because Donald Trump's attorneys have been laughing at him behind his back and calling him a broke motherfucking ass. Because, Donald Trump, he is, he takes in a lot of money, but he's in a huge amount of debt. That's why he's trying to sue CNN for $425 million, because they called him Adolf Hitler. But I said to him, good luck with that, right? And Donald Trump, right, has turned even more evil in his latest speech. I don't know if you saw his latest one over the weekend, but he's gone, right, he's gone like on a next level. Donald Trump has gone. He has really started hitting the ball out of the park. And when I say out of the park, I mean, this guy's, all the QAnon theories, all the QAnon theories, he's now spouting them. They're doing the whole QAnon like one finger thing. They're playing the QAnon anthem, in his rallies now. Right? Donald Trump has turned really unhinged. Donald Trump claims that China sent COVID to America because he took out tariffs against China. This is what he's coming up with all in this rally, right? How he only had 3 weeks to go for the rest of the wall, and the Democrats come and messed it up, right? And they say, no, that's not true. Come on, man. It was, and Mexico. Remember, Mexico was going to pay for it. No. He's still pushing the whole stolen election nonsense. Wow, just like, and there's so much people, right, that this fool has got convinced of this, right, that and they're sending him. I mean, I saw him doing a campaign asking for people to send him their money, right, as per usual. Send me your money. Send your money to a man who's supposed to be a billionaire, right? And what amazed me about how so much people say, oh, he's so successful. Yeah, you'd be successful if your dad gave you $425 million. Who wouldn't be successful, right? But Donald Trump has lost all that money. And that's what the thing is, right? And, I think he knows he's in a position, where there's only one of his properties, right, that he can hold on to indefinitely. Right, because if things go as bad as things could go for him, because he's got countless court cases out. So if things go as bad for him as they could go, right, he's going to have to sell a lot of stuff, right, to get himself in, to get himself out of the mess he's in, right? But the one property is the one where he buried his wife the other day, because you know what? If you bury a member of your family, right, in a property, I can't remember what. I think it's in California. I don't know where. I can't remember where it is. But if you bury a member of your family in that state, then they can never ever take that property from you, right? No matter what. If you and that's why he buried his ex-wife there in like basically in a shallow grave at the back of the. I think it's one of the golf clubs. I think. Donald Trump wants to give drug dealers the death penalty, right? Like, you know, he wants to go in with like Duterte, right? And he claims that that's what they do in China. They just get a quick death penalty, and he'd love to bring that to America. But I'm sure he must realise, yeah, that a lot of his supporters are like meth addicts, right? You think them rednecks don't? You think them rednecks don't take drugs? A lot of them guys are meth addicts, right? And heroin and fentanyl. Right, so I say, okay, well, you gotta, you know, because like you see, this is the thing with these people, right? But then again, yeah, the Republicans, they believe that they can commit crimes, right? And you know, it's other people. So when you're talking about drug dealers, you know, the same meth heads will be looking at people. And say, oh, well, no, it's sort of black and brown people who take drugs. That's who's going to get executed. Yeah, that's what you think for now. Right? But I don't know if they could actually write the laws like that. He's also still pushing the anti-abortion, which I think is going to go really badly for the Republicans. I just can't see how that can go well for them. I can't see why they would still be trying to push the whole anti-abortion thing, because you know, I just can't, you know, it's got nothing to do, you know, it's got nothing to do with the state. Right, you know what a woman does with her own body. It's still got nothing to do with the states. Do you know what I mean? So I just can't see how that. I just think they're on a really losing battle on that one, because like I just can't see how that can go. It can go well for them. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if you know her. Right, she's America's answer to Nadine Dorries, but just with 3 ecstasy pills, a big gulp of vodka. Right. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that she's just going to make stuff up. And she started making stuff up, talking about how Democrats are out there purposely killing Republicans. She spoke about one incident, how a Democrat had knocked down the Republican and got out and said, well, I knocked them down and killed them because they were Republican. There's nothing, story's not true at all. Right. And then she claimed another one, right, where a Democrat had shot an 81-year-old woman in the back. Again, do you know what I mean? Just, you know, again, a story that's fabrication. An 81-year-old woman did get shot in the back, but I believe it was some type of dispute and some type of it was some type of dispute. I think that was some type of dispute between someone who had gone to someone's house trespassing. That's the word I was looking for. Some type of trespassing dispute. You know? But you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene's up there claiming that Democrats are out there killing Republicans. And you see, the thing is, right, you know, she's telling a load of people who actually have guns. And when you do politics by the gun, that's very, very dangerous. And that's how these people do politics, right? You know, even someone like Mitch McConnell, I'm sure Mitch McConnell's life right now is in real danger, right? You know, Mitch McConnell's wife used to work for Donald Trump. She only left she left January the 6th. That's when she left, after that date. Right, that's when she left working with Donald Trump. Right? But this woman used to work with Donald Trump, and that's how he can insult her and put a death wish out on Mitch McConnell. You know, so that's some really crazy times, some really crazy times going on in America. And you know, I would warn Donald Trump's lawyers. I'd warn them, because you know, you have to wonder, yeah, does MAGA stand for making attorneys get attorneys? MAGA. So they want to watch it because, you know, a lot of times this shit don't get paid. A woman has been killed by some American pitbull style dogs I can't remember what county it's in, but I think there's like 5 of them or something like that in a room, you know. And you think to yourself, who the hell needs 5 of those dogs? Because those dogs are powerful motherfuckers, right? And for someone to have 5 of them in one house, right? You know, it's one of them's not so bad because, you know, it's once you start like putting those dogs in a pack, that's when you have the real problem, because, you know, that's, you know, that just takes them back to their hunting days, because that's what dogs do. They hunt in packs. So I don't know if I don't really know that much about the story, whether or not she's they're her dogs or her partner's dogs or her child or her son's dogs. I don't know, but she was in the house. She was in the house, and somehow she was in the room, and these dogs had torn her to pieces, and all 5 of them had been put down, which obviously is to be expected. We've got another train strike today, and I believe, right, they've purposely done it, right, so they would hit up Liz Truss's speech, right, to make sure that there was only half the people in the auditorium. And I think that's what actually happened. And we should have been speaking about Liz Truss speech, but you know something? She never said anything interesting in it. And we ain't got no time for that. The Home Secretary has accused MPs of trying a coup d'etat. Suella the Braverman, of course. She thinks it's she believes that they was trying a coup, and that what they need to do, especially people like, you know, Michael Gove, because Michael Gove has been out there, you know, on the sidelines, because, you know, this is the first time I've known Michael Gove not to be in the cabinet. So he obviously must be very pissed about that, right? And, you know, it's not good to, you know, someone like Michael Gove, you know, because he's a big hitter in the Tory party, obviously, right? So it's not good to start upsetting these people. And the way she just put them on the sidelines, and then, because now all these guys are coming out in support, say, well, you know, these benefits, right? You must, you can't be cutting them, you know, and they don't really like the direction that she's taking the party in, and they're all speaking out. I mean, there's a lot of stabbing in the back going on, a lot of knifings going on within the Tory party at the moment, you know. And I mean, Penny Mordant, who's actually in the cabinet, has come out and said that about benefits as well. So obviously that's gone down like a lead balloon within the cabinet. But all these people, a lot of these people are right now, they're all jockeying, because they know that it's not, Liz Truss is not, she's not, you know, I can't really see Liz Truss pulling this back. Do you know what I mean? You know, she would have to do something, yeah, that pleases so much people, right? Now, that's very difficult, because the right wing that she's associated with, they're only interested in nasty politics. So if she tries to do something for the whole country, then they're gonna, you know, they wouldn't really like that, because they wouldn't really like that. They prefer the nasty, rotten politics. That's what they prefer, right? So, you know, I think she's just on a real losing battle. Anything she does, right, I think it's just going to go down really, really badly for her. I mean, you know, she's already had to pull back from one of her major policies. So now people are going to be pushing back on a lot of these policies. People are going to be pushing back on a lot of her stuff. I mean, she's had to give a speech today, and because she's had to pull back on that policy, she's given a speech where it's just a word sandwich. She's not said anything. She's just spoke about growth and, you know, building some roads and just a load of nonsense. Nothing really. But I think that is down to the trains, right, where they've purposely made sure on the day of her speech that they've got a strike on. So much people have left up there. We always speak about some Brexit. The Brexit outrage. British expats are told they must reapply for their driver's license in Majorca. You must reapply for your driver's licenses. But I'm quite sure that they knew that they would have to reapply for it. Oh, no, they didn't. Because you know why? Because they thought to themselves, you know what? We're British, right? And everybody around the world, right, has to do as we want them to do. And they have to find out now that things don't work like that, right? Especially when you leave the EU. Because when we was in the EU, we could just go to these countries and say, listen, yeah, we're driving on your roads, yeah? And so, Okay, we don't really want you to, but we can't stop you. Now they can. Now they can. Now they're just like, oh no, you can't drive here. But I'm quite sure that when you racist fools voted, you knew what you was voting for. But actually, you thought you was voting and then Britain would hold all of the cards or have cake and eat it. I mean, if you got cake, I mean, what else you got to do with cake? I like cake. And you say, what else you got to do with cake? You got cake, you got to eat it. And that's the British problem. They just think to themselves, well, we got all the cake. And now, right, we ain't got a slither, not even a slither, right? What we got, is we got the crumbs that's falling off the EU's plate. And they say, yeah, that. Liz Truss says Steve Baker, or Brexit hardman Steve Baker, was speaking for himself when he apologised. Oh my God, I said British expats without saying, as we like to call them, refugees. But they are bloody G's. But anyway, Liz Truss has said Steve Baker was speaking for himself when he apologised to the people of Ireland. And that'd be about right. See, because I don't understand this whole Tory politics, because it's it's just fight with everybody, upset everybody, and then they'll do what you want them to do. That's what the right wing politics seems to be. Do you know what I mean? We'll fight with you, we'll tell you, right, we'll tell you how we don't need you, and then you're just gonna break down and just do exactly what the British want. Brits are being warned to watch what food and drink they take when they're going on holidays into the EU. Because there's a lot of foods that you're not allowed to take in there no more. Like, cheeses and probably wines and, any meats. You're never going to be able to take any meats in there. Right, so people have to watch. I mean, if you're going into the EU, just make sure that you can get the stuff that you actually want to eat on holiday over there, because you ain't gonna be able to take it from over here. Yeah, that is just simply how it works. And my friends, I've gone 2 minutes over today, so that's not too bad. So what's today? It's Wednesday, yeah. But so listen, I've got to bow out of here. So I'm going to bow out of here now. This, my friends, is by any means necessary. I'm DMC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.